Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Data Insights Arena. My name is Igor. I'll be your host. And today we have with us Oleg. He's an expert from Group BWT.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Igor. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for joining us. Today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. There is a phenomenon that's going on in today's world that's called brand bidding, and we decided to do an episode about it and dive deeper and kind of get some answers, hopefully, from you, and hopefully it'll be useful for some folks. So let's go straight into the topic, and let's first, if you don't mind, give us a general idea. What is brand bidding? Can you explain it to us?
Yeah, you've mentioned this correctly at the very beginning that brand bidding is a very well-known phenomenon nowadays and is very dangerous for the famous, well-known brands nowadays. So, what is that exactly? When your clients are looking for your services or looking for your products, they would typically type specific keywords in Google search. Competitors may use that and run their Google ad campaigns using your brand keywords in the locations where you run your advertisement. Typically, the client would just, or the buyer would just do the Google search and enter the first link that appears on the Google search results. And if your competitors are running their ads, their paid ads, they may be on top of the search results. This way, they are taking your traffic, and by statistics, brands may lose 10 to 30% of traffic because of brand bidding.
Wow.
That's why this topic is very relevant nowadays.
Okay, so I don't know as much as you do about it, but I do know that there are multiple ways of fighting it. So next, I would like to, I guess, discuss, if you don't mind, telling us what are the various ways of how brands can fight this.
Sure. That's a good question. So it all depends really on multiple factors. So it depends on the size of the brand. It depends on geography of your advertisements, and it depends on how much your brand or your company is losing because of brand bidding. Based on those factors, the ways to protect yourself are this. So it can be manual process. So if you're not a big brand, you can just run Google search yourself using the keywords that you're using for advertisements and see where your offer, where your product is in the search results. If it's on top, then you're good. If your competitor is on top, you should probably run paid Google ad to outbid the competitor. The other way is in the legal direction. You need to have a legal entity in each location where you run your campaign, and then you can make Google not to allow your competitors to use your brand keywords for their for their ads. And the third way is technological. So technologically, using technologies for helping you make the right decisions and knowing in time, in the proper time, that you are the victim of the brand bidding.
I see. So, well, the first is obvious, and the second, if you ask me, it's probably very, very expensive, given the fact that litigation always is, the attorney's fees and stuff like that. Yeah, and time consuming, of course. So I think since we're a technological podcast, why can't we dive in a little deeper into the technical aspect, the technical option? Can we go a little deeper and explain to our guests, what it entails, the whole process of technological solution here?
For sure. Before going to that direction, I'd like to tell a few words about Google search and how it works itself.
Sure.
So the Google ads, the Google ads depend on various parameters such as bid size, ad quality, display time, so on and so forth. But the main parameter is location. It may happen that you become a brand victim in, let's say, Berlin, but at the same time, if you run the campaigns in Paris, everything is good and you're on top, just because your competitors are trying to outbid you in Berlin in this specific case. Also, the type of the device is also important because they can do the brand bidding only in Berlin for mobile devices, for example. So all this needs to be considered when you are trying to find or select the most suitable technological solution to brand bidding protection. Now, when I mentioned that in a few words, that will help me to explain better about the technological approach to this specific situation. You actually have multiple choices here. So first one is using ready-made SaaS platforms that could provide you real-time report on Google search results. You can use those reports to make the decision and manually enable or disable Google Ads when it is required. Also, I should mention that the most effective way, and why I'm talking about Google search results and all those solutions, that the most effective way to fight against brand bidding is just to outbid your competitors in Google search. So once their paid advertisement appears on top, the most effective way you have is to enable your paid advertisement and wait until the competitor's advertisement disappears. But you need to know when to do it or not, because if you don't have a mechanism for making this decision, you can either lose the traffic if you don't enable paid Google ad on time, or you can lose money if you enable paid ad and then you don't know that competitors not in the results anymore, and you still have this run and paid ad, and you pay for nothing basically, because you would have otherwise be top in organic search. So that being said, you may use ready-made SaaS solution that could provide you the reports in real time or once a couple of times a day. You can make a decision and turn on and turn off Google Ads. However, the solutions like that, they have certain limitations in volumes of data that they can process and provide you, in the configurations and in automations. So you probably won't be able to track lots of the keywords and lots of the locations. You won't be able to track them with the needed frequency.
Right.
And you won't be able to automate the decision-making process. Basically,
I would imagine the accuracy would be an issue too.
Yeah, that's also the good point, and that's the matter of the research that we have recently done. I'll cover this in a minute. That's the good thing that you've mentioned that. So another option for you is to use so-called SERP data providing companies. If you're looking for the greater automation, if you're looking for the bigger volumes of data, SERP data providers can give you the, so what is SERP? This is search engine result page data. They can give you the needed information within the needed frequency, and you can then use it to automate your decision-making process. You pay for requests. The more requests you send, the better price you may get for the requests in volume. It seems to be the perfect case scenario, and to prove it or not to prove it, we've conducted the market research, and this is what leads me to answering your question about data accuracy. We have tested 3 different SERP data providers, the most popular ones. I will not name them in order not to advertise them or not to say something that they may not like. Just the fact of the research, that's what's interesting. So we use those 3 companies. We've run the same search queries at the same time, but received different results. Some companies would trigger us to enable paid ads, some companies would not, and vice versa. When there is no need to have them run, and they would not trigger us to disable them. So the question is how to select the company that you can trust. The question is in the quality, right? So we decided to dive deeper and understand why the results were different. The short answer to this question is that nobody knows for sure how Google search algorithms work. So people make hypotheses. What we have found out after our research is that IP address in the needed location, in the exact location of the place where you are running your paid Google ad, is very important. However, it appears that SERP data providers, they are not that they don't pay that much of attention to the IP address to make sure that it's from the exact location, but they would rather use specific parameter in search request to make Google think that they're searching from the specific location. However, if they're not using the right IP address, it may still not produce exactly the same result as the person running the search from the exact location would get. So that appeared to be the root of this difference in the results that they were providing. Still, if you're using multiple companies, or if you found the SERP data provider that is covering the IP addresses and the locations that you're interested in, you can get, based on our research, you can get up to 70% of accuracy of data, which is also good. Once again, going back to the beginning of the conversation, depends on the size, on how much you lose, and so on and so forth. However, we know the company that didn't, the 70% did not suit their expectations. And the only way to do it in a different way is to develop the custom solution, custom software that would trigger you when you need to turn on or turn off the paid Google ad. What's the main difference? When we were doing the research, once again, in order to figure out how to get this done in a custom way and how to make it with a more accuracy than we were able to get from using the market tools available on the market, we've paid a lot of attention to IP addresses. So we've contacted with more than 30 or 50 proxy services around the world. And our intention was to get the pool of IP addresses that would cover each location where we wanted to prevent the brand bidding. And that went down to the list of about 15 companies that, based on our testing result, proved to provide the IP addresses in the locations that we need. The key for the success of the custom software is to make sure that you have quality IP addresses in the needed locations, and that, if I may say like that, there is the redundancy of IP addresses. So in simple terms, you need to have much more IPs than you would use for the job like that, because with the time, as time goes, as the search queries are running, IP may lose its quality. IP address may get to the blacklist. It may appear that from the pool of 50 IP addresses, 1, 2, 5 still are not from the location that we need. So we need to have more IPs than we need in order to remove bad IPs and replace them with the working IP addresses. So the key to success is the proxy management system, which has many quality IP addresses in the needed locations. It is the web scrapers, custom web scrapers that would run Google search, and display the results for further analysis, and the analysis and trigger system that, based on the scraping results, would trigger the brand when they need to turn on or turn off paid Google ad to overbid the competitors who are trying to do the brand bidding against them.
Okay, so that's very, very interesting. It sounds like there are definitely a lot of decisions needs to be made. There are many, many variables here at play. So whether you're a large enterprise or a small, whether, sometimes it might turn out that for a small enterprise, it makes sense. Other times it might turn out that for a large enterprise, maybe this doesn't make sense, because it sounds like there's just so much to consider. And it's one of those issues that definitely require an expert, someone with an expertise.
Exactly. It all goes down to whether this is the problem for your business or for your brand, and how much you lose on it. Based on that, you make a decision. How do you, first of all, either you want to do anything with it. Second of all, what exactly do you want to do with it to protect yourself?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, just the top of my head. What do you see future trends? Do you think this problem is likely to disappear in the coming years, or do you think this is here to stay?
It is. It's not gonna disappear, I believe, because it is the legal way. It is working right now. The competitors and other businesses benefit on the approach like that. When we were doing the research, you would surprise how well spread this phenomenon is. So it's not going to disappear is a fact, and then it's up to your business to decide whether you want to do something with it, or if it doesn't bother you, then you're not. Everything is fine, and you don't need to do
So
anything.
it's like companies piggybacking off of each other's brand. They taking advantage of benefits of brand, that the money they spend on their advertising, which is kind of unfair.
Well,
Understood. So
not look at this angle, because they also have to spend on their ads to do the brand bidding.
that's true. That's true.
The only thing that is getting traded here is the traffic. So basically, if you don't want to lose your traffic, you need to do something about it. First of all, I would start with at least understanding whether you're the victim of brand bidding or not, and then make a decision whether it's worth doing something with it or not.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. I mean, this is definitely a very deep issue, and hopefully this will bring some understanding, some knowledge to the listeners of this podcast. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.